And the Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
Oh, Lord.
You knew Jeffrey Epstein, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. You know, we flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different, well, that was a humanitarian trip to Africa.
Yeah.
And I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know who plane we was getting on, but it was a whole bunch of dignitary people who was with a delegation. And yeah, I met him, and you know, you don't know people, what they do in their private lives. So yeah.
But tell me this, Chris. He was on this private plane, and you can tell that it was a private plane because they called it, was it Lolita Express?
Oh yeah, it was a private plane. Yes. Oh yes.
Wait a minute. You didn't never go to that island, did you?
No. I don't know where that thing at. No.
They say Hollywood cash can muzzle even the loudest conscience, but tonight we're ripping off the diamond-studded gag and letting the secrets scream. Slide past the paparazzi flashbulbs with me because the saga of Chris Tucker, the 1,990s box office monarch who ghosted 20 million paydays like they were spam texts, runs stranger, darker, and juicier than any studio puff piece ever dared whisper. Picture velvet-masked freak-off parties that would make Caligula blush, FBI dossiers thicker than Tolstoy, flight logs nobody wants to claim, and a comedy throne shattered into 3 uneasy pieces.
You know, Cube want to do another one because Cube, of course, it's like, you know, he kind of created Fridays, and I was in the first one. Yeah. And Cube, after I did the first Fridays back then, I never thought about doing sequels. I always wanted to do a good job and keep moving to the next movie. So Cube asked me back in, I think it was 96 or 97. He's Chris, we want to do another Fridays, man. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to do another Fridays. I want to do like Eddie Murphy and them did. I want to do Money Talks. I did Money Talks, and then eventually did Rush Hour. I said, I don't want to do another. And he said, what? You sure? I was like, nah, I don't want to do another. So he couldn't believe it, but he kept moving, and he got Mike Epps, and they went and did another one, and it was great. He did 2 of them, and they were great.
Go to Martin Lawrence, Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx. They were saying, hey, we'd love to do them. And to be fair, they did amazing jobs at those roles. Now, since they did such a good job, they didn't really need Chris anymore. But that was fine with Chris. When I say he was turning down movies, I mean he turned down hundreds of millions of dollars worth of movies. And it's literally just as simple as he didn't want to do it. He didn't want all that came with it. Other people decided to fill the role. Win-win.
If you thought Tucker just got greedy or lazy, buckle up. The real story is soaked in money, morality, and midnight phone calls that changed careers forever. Before we cannonball into the scandal sauce, hammer, like, slam, subscribe, ring that drama detecting bell, and parachute your wildest theory into the comments. Every click keeps the kettle boiling and the tea spilling, so do the right thing, detective. Chris Tucker's fairy tale sprint started with one high-pitched, "Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?" Opposite Jackie Chan. Overnight, he wasn't just Hollywood's funniest guy, he was its highest-paid actor, juggling offers fat enough to make Scrooge McDuck jealous. Then came the fork in the yellow brick road. Studios dangled a fresh $12 million to reprise Smokey in Next Friday, plus a stack of 9-figure sequel promises. Insiders swear the real deal-breaker wasn't dollars. It was a whispered invitation to a satin-masked orientation party where new franchise leads allegedly prove they'll play ball in every sense. Tucker, a preacher's kid who tours with a pocket New Testament, is said to have scanned the crystal bowls of burner phones and off-brand pharmaceuticals, clutched his Bible, and moonwalked right back out.
Tucker not talked about being in Next Friday because I know it was Mike Epps, but
we wanted him. You know, he turned it down. Yeah, we wanted to pay him $12 million to do that movie.
What?
And he turned it down. He said it was for religious reasons. He didn't want to cuss, and he didn't want to smoke weed on camera.
Oh, y'all ain't know what happened to Chris Tucker? Well, it gets a little deep. See, Chris Tucker had a problem. He films this movie called Rush Hour, and suddenly he becomes the highest paid actor in Hollywood. not comedy actor, the highest paid actor in Hollywood. Every script in Hollywood wants a piece of Chris, but Chris starts turning down roles. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say they were asking him to do things that he wasn't a fan of.
By morning, he torched a decade of guaranteed riches. Let execs brand him difficult Hollywood code for unwilling to be owned and traded blockbuster scripts for Bible study. So what is a Hollywood freak-off? Imagine eyes wide shut ambience, upgraded with billionaire DJs, guest lists like Oscar night, and NDAs that read like nuclear launch codes. Phones surrendered, safe words picked, hidden cameras rolling for leverage later, every laugh, a potential blackmail clip. A former security contractor claims George Clooney lookalikes served neon shots named after deadly sins, while A-listers were ushered toward themed rooms: the Neon Jungle, the Champagne Dungeon, the ever-popular confession booth. Multiple guests describe menu cards pairing designer stimulants with equally designer partners, Michelin-star debauchery at corporate hazing stakes. Tucker, if the valet's story holds, stayed 5 minutes, quoted scripture about fleeing youthful lusts, and vanished into the dawn. One exec supposedly emailed at sunrise. Plan B, find 3 bankable comics who'll never dare pull a Tucker again. Dave Chappelle noticed that memo. Remember when Chappelle bolted from a $50 million Comedy Central deal?
Jamie Foxx. Man, Jamie Foxx is a well-loved dude. They love him. But he be going to them same male review parties as well.
Oh, no.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. You ain't know that? Damn, they don't be knowing. That's crazy. Oh, bro, these boys are, because a lot of ladies think they finna get with these superstars. Boy, they finna ask you to watch them with a man on the gas. They gonna ask you to watch them with a guy in the bed on them grave. I'm good, bro. I am. It's spooky out here, Cam. The world an evil place, bro.
We lost some great people before this movie could come out regardless.
Right.
And so, yes, there desperately needs to be one. But we miss John Witherspoon in a way that can't really be quantified, if I'm being honest with you.
And resurfaced in South Africa, industry spies insist Tucker's disappearing act was the blueprint. A former Chappelle Show writer swears Dave rang Chris at 3 a.m., sobbing that network suits wanted ownership of my soul and the punchlines. Tucker allegedly replied, "Brother, their money without peace is counterfeit." That nocturnal rescue line has become underground lore. 2 comedians comparing escape strategies, one fleeing studios, the other a cable empire. Chappelle later told Oprah he'd seen things money can't erase. Fans now wonder if those things looked a lot like Tucker's velvet-masked invite. With their golden goose gone, studio kingpins scrambled to build a new rotation of bankable, funny men, so no single comic could strong-arm the system again. Enter Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, and Kevin Hart, a triple-threat insurance policy engineered overnight. Box office charts stayed hot, diversity quotas were flaunted, and Tucker's absence faded. Yet karma doesn't follow spreadsheets. Each successor soon collided with a headline nightmare. Martin's Ventura Boulevard meltdown, Jamie's hospital mystery, and Kevin's industry plant accusations formed a pattern fans couldn't ignore. Was Tucker's exit a one-off blip, or a warning Hollywood laughed off at its peril? Martin Lawrence's crash felt like a live stream panic attack decades before IG Live. Neon brake lights, desert heat, Lawrence barefoot in traffic shouting, "They're trying to kill me," while waving a .380. Police cuffed him, tabloids blamed exhaustion. Friends insist he'd been cornered over private party footage and threatened with career erasure. 3 years later, he collapsed on an evening jog, slipped into a coma, woke up with slower speech and fewer scripts. Every red carpet grin since looks pixelated, as if part of him still scans crowds for shadows with cameras. Breakdown or breakthrough? Fans debate whether that wild street scene was psychosis or a raw scream of truth before the PR shutters slammed. Jamie Foxx's 2023 medical cliffhanger plays like a streaming thriller. 1 minute he's riffing on set. The next, TMZ choppers hover over an Atlanta hospital roof. Family posts cryptic prayer hands. Then a former bodyguard claims Foxx was dosed with cyanide at a yacht party after filming blackmail-level footage of a music mogul's secret soirees. Fox finally appears on Instagram, eyes glassy, tears fighting gravity, insisting he's neither blind nor paralyzed but refusing to name the illness. Sealed court dockets hint he may testify in a sex trafficking probe. Stroke? Poison? Divine warning? Only Fox knows, and his tight-lipped silence booms louder than any press release. Kevin Hart's glow-up looks like a Hallmark inspiration poster until you zoom the fine print. Straight off a Spirit Airlines flight, he lands a network sitcom, a feature film lead, and a multi-city tour before headlining a single 50-seat arena. Cat Williams, never shy, calls him a lab-grown comic built by execs to peddle PG-13 punchlines and sneaker collabs. Whisper Circuits claim Hart's first LA, a contract bundled 4 pilot guarantees, final cut rights, and an insurance policy usually reserved for megastars. He laughs it off. Success looks suspicious to lazy people, but keeps details fuzzy. Then comes 2017, a Vegas hotel tape surfaces, and Hart issues a tearful apology on Instagram. Insiders say the clip was a warning shot after he dodged certain party invites. 2 years later, his vintage Barracuda flips off Mulholland at 2 a.m. Hart's back fractures in 3 places. Mechanics call the crash statistically bizarre. Coincidence or cosmic invoice? You decide. Now, about the island no one wants stamped in their passport, Jeffrey Epstein's Little St. James. Flight logs place Tucker on a 2002 jet ride with Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey, allegedly en route to inspect AIDS relief projects. Tucker swears he skipped the final hop, sensed off vibes, and caught a commercial flight home. Yet paparazzi snagged shots of him deplaning in the Virgin Islands, and Williams roars that today's Tucker is Epstein Island Chris Tucker. The comedian counters that Williams is projecting, but in Hollywood's kangaroo court, perception often outruns proof, leaving reputations bruised even when innocence is plausible. We can't ignore Diddy, the alleged ringleader of champagne-fueled nights soaked in NDA quicksand. Civil suits portray nasty hours where newcomers audition for lifestyle upgrades. One ex-assistant says guest phones were sealed in lead-lined pouches, yet a rogue GoPro once captured cameos by an Oscar winner and a Grammy darling. That clip reportedly sleeps in a Swiss vault. Ransom price 8 figures, a ticking time bomb that keeps high rollers aligned. Rumors tie the same circle to Jamie Foxx's sudden illness and warn that any star who even whispers about those nights risks career flu. Let's flip the coin. Tucker isn't just hiding under a pew, he's preaching from it. He funnels 6-figure donations into Atlanta youth centers, bankrolls mission trips, and rehearses new jokes by riffing on proverbs. Crew members on his 2024 tour describe backstage prayer circles and zero-tolerance rules. No booze, no groupies, all sets wrapped by 10 p.m. Or everyone's per diem vanishes. Offstage, Tucker visits hospitals unannounced, pays strangers medical bills, and teaches Sunday school kids how to write punchlines. Cynics call it rebranding. Believers call it proof you can outrun Babylon with a Bible and a no-nudity clause. That halo has dents. In 2014, the IRS slapped Tucker with liens just shy of $14 million. Headlines screamed, "Holy hypocrite!" Tucker blamed an accountant turned con artist who forged signatures, created Phantom Nevada LLCs, and crashed a hard drive days before subpoena pickup. Court filings back him up. The man pled guilty to fraud. Tucker negotiated a settlement paid through sold-out stand-up dates and double shifts hosting charity galas. He jokes that he's God's funniest debt collector, and he's nearly square with the feds. Let's detour to Neverland. Michael Jackson adored Tucker's squeaky clean punchlines, so much he invited him for private movie nights, popcorn, soda, and zero profanity. According to the late singer's chef, Tucker once crept behind animatronic dinosaurs on the mini train. Hearing Jackson giggle, "You're funny, Christmas." Yes, Jackson nicknamed him Christmas. That friendship birthed Tucker's cameo in You Rock My World and a phone call habit where Jackson left voicemails singing gospel hymns. Some believe Jackson's endless legal storms taught Tucker to spot reputational quicksand early and to sprint in the opposite direction. Meanwhile, the China factor looms. Rush Hour 4 may hinge less on Hollywood morality and more on Beijing censors. Insiders at 10 Cent Pictures, eyed as co-financier, say Tucker's script notes cut a triad. Subplot he felt, glorified organized crime. Executives countered that Western audiences need high stakes. Chan, ever the diplomat, pitched flipping the villains into an international fake art ring, a nod to his UNESCO ambassadorship. Tucker loved it. Tencent thawed, and Netflix circled with a $150 million global rights offer. If the ink dries, Tucker's morality clause stays: no occult jokes, no F-bombs, and 10% of salary wired straight to an orphanage in Kenya. Another subplot: the quiet war for Tucker's life rights. Two competing biopic pitches circle town like sharks. One paints him a persecuted saint, the other a conflicted genius tempted by forbidden fruit. Netflix dangled mid-8 figures for a docuseries, provided Tucker narrates the darker chapters, Epstein flight logs, freak-off invitations, and megachurch donors who paid his tax liens. Tucker's legal team faxed a single-sentence reply: no price on peace. Still, agents whisper Apple TV Plus has raised its offer. The longer he waits, the spicier the bidding war, and the bigger the risk someone else tells the story first. So here we stand at the cliff's edge of rumor and revelation. Did Chris Tucker dodge damnation by fleeing the freak-off circus, or strike a secret compromise we've yet to uncover? Were Martin's screams, Jamie's tears, and Kevin's broken spine cosmic invoices, or random tragedies? Is Diddy nursing videotape kryptonite? And does Netflix already own the popcorn rights? Flood the comments with your hottest takes. I'll be knee-deep in subpoenas, NDAs, and maybe a vat of holy water, reading every single one. Until our next covert mission, keep your third eye open, your phone on airplane mode at celebrity mansion parties, and remember, in Hollywood, the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows.